perfect start to their FIFA World Cup campaign on a Thursday. Now it is the turn of Canada and the United States of America to see if they can join the first co-host in action and follow suit on day number 2 of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Yes, an opening ceremony for the Canadians full of red and life, and now they hope to bring that life to the football pitch when they take on Bosnia in their opening match. They are going for history. They are looking for their first ever win at the FIFA World Cup. Good afternoon and welcome to our coverage. Dare to Dream is what it is called. And yes, while the land of wood and water is not represented at this wonderful event, we still have so many reasons to dream. Yes, we all have our individual countries cheering for throughout the course of this World Cup. My name is Ricardo Chambers, and tell you what, I have a wonderful panel with me. Before I tell you about them, thank you so much for joining us, whether you're watching on 1SPOTMEDIA.com, Television Jamaica, or listening on Fame 95 FM. This group has you covered for the entirety of the FIFA World Cup. Let me introduce the panel. Shall I start with Craig Butler? I'm going to call him the super agent, and who knows, he might actually help us throughout the course of this World Cup to have a few new faces on the panel. Hello, Craig. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me. Pleasure being here. Like your jersey.
Captain Fantastic from his time at St. Catherine High School, now at Racing United. Markovich Brown is with us as well, and we have designated him as the technical director of this unit, the one and only Andrew Peart. Can you manage that job, Andrew?
Of course. Not the first time Craig will have to listen to what I say. And more to come in the future, right?
Of course. No problem, Andrew.
Good.
Anything is it.
Gentlemen, the opening ceremonies, when it comes down to opening ceremonies and the World Cup, I don't know how much of a thing it is. I know certainly for the Olympic Games, everybody looks forward to it because it's an opportunity to see, the athletes come out and with the flag, and that's wonderful. Usually, the World Cup opening ceremonies are about 25 to 30 minutes. Yesterday in Mexico, it was 16 minutes and 30 seconds, if you want to be precise. Today, 13 minutes in Canada. Are you a fan of these World Cup opening ceremonies?
At first I wasn't, but as you grow as an adult and you understand even having a nationalistic view and a patriotic view, it's more a representation of the culture, of the history of the host nation. And now you have 3, it's everybody doing their best or doing their bit to further promote their countries.
I get the feeling that Craig is not a big fan of these things.
No, I think that is really important, though, that to represent and to give people a chance to see and to be proud of the country and to actually be recognized. It's just like the Olympics. You want to have those things, and you want people to see it and enjoy the moment. You don't get this once every 4 years,
Yeah. Too short.
It would have been nice if we had a nice gold and black and yellow.
Too short, Marco?
No, I don't think it was too short. I mean, I'm a fan of Alicia Cara, who was the Canadian singer who was singing.
And he was singing along.
He was singing.
Oh, that's where that was coming from.
Yes.
I heard him singing it.
Such a beautiful voice there. It wasn't too short. I don't think it was.
Yeah, certainly, yeah. So we had the Canada opening ceremony. Later on, the Americans will have their opening ceremony. That one will be around 13 minutes as well. But remember, we're building up to that opening game in Canada, which will be 2 o'clock. And what that means that they have to clear the field in time for the players to go through their warm-up exercises and all of that before kickoff at 2 o'clock. So we're going to be building up to all of that. But of course, the tournament started on Thursday with 2 matches. Co-host Mexico, the first in action, they took on South Africa and they got the desired result, winning that encounter by 2-0. We're going to have a look back at some of the key moments from that game, certainly the goals. But gentlemen, it was a very good start for Mexico, but some would say an expected start for Mexico.
Yeah, sure. As a host nation, Mexico, of course, ranked higher than South Africa. And as a host, you want to put yourself in that position where not a lot of pressure is on you going further on in the tournament. You want to get that first win out of the way, and they did just that yesterday.
Yeah, of course, a couple of goals in that game, but also 3 red cards in that game, a record for opening games at the World Cup. 2 in 1990 for Cameroon against Argentina, who were defending champions at the time, and Cameroon still went on to win that game, but a couple of goals in this one. Quinones and Raúl Jiménez getting the goals for the Mexican. And it's interesting, I want to have a quick conversation, gents, about Raúl Jiménez, 35 years old and scoring his first ever goal at the World Cup in his 7th match at the World Cup. Big moment for him.
Yes, definitely it was a big moment for him, and you could have seen it with the celebration, how he celebrated his goal, the passion, you could have seen it, and what he has gone through with the head injury and all of that, and to bounce back and come back and score his first World Cup goal at 35-year-old in front of his national, in front of his people. Yeah. It was, you could see the passion and the joy, and that's what the game about. Yeah,
significant moment and a quality player, a really good moment, Craig, for a player who has done so well. Of course, we'll know him mostly from playing for Wolverhampton Wanderers in the English Premier League, but yes, a great moment for him.
Very great moment. I think it's wonderful.
That was the opening goal from Quinones there, Raúl Jiménez getting the second goal.
Yeah, I think though it's been marred a bit by the red cards. I don't think 2 of those red cards really were red cards. You know, and I don't think it should have happened.
There's a defender to your left who disagrees.
I thought about it. No, especially the speed. What they're trying to do right now is speed everything up.
Yeah.
Even the opening ceremonies. Yeah? Even the opening ceremonies being sped up. You're killing the beautiful game, huh? It's not a basketball game, it's a football game.
So part of what, you know, FIFA is saying is that, listen, we want to see more football. We cannot have a situation where we are supposed to have 90 minutes of football, but we end up only playing 47, 48 minutes. And a lot of these rules are meant to correct that issue. So you are saying you don't think that these rules will help?
You have people sprinting off the field to make a change. What if the guy had a little injury and he had to walk off? You can penalize them and let them lose 1 minute?
Andrew?
I think, and I mentioned it yesterday, that the last 2 World Cups, the average ball in play time was between 54 to 56 minutes. When you look at the top leagues in the world, they're averaging around about the same. So I'm not seeing, and football, when you look at the physical output in football, it's running, walking, jumping. There are stoppages, the ball go out for a throw, they celebrate goals. I don't see the big gains you will get from it. You may add like 30 seconds, 40 seconds more, or saving that time. Yeah. But you won't have this massive ball in play time.
What about, though, the thinking of the game? The tactic of the game, the management of the game. All of these things are going to go out the door if you're sprinting off the field.
Player welfare will be one thing as well, because then the demands on the player will be far greater. Yeah. Because you look at it, they have the hydration breaks now because they mentioned the climate. We may think it's other reasons.
You mean like advertising?
Of course. Moving forward into leagues.
Which is not a bad thing, by the way, because the conversation has been long held about, I guess football is probably that one sport where you go, do you need to make it more marketable? But I guess when you are in the United States of America and FIFA, Gianni Infantino has pushed in the build-up to this World Cup the idea of making more money so more nations can benefit more. And I suspect that the advertising is a significant part of that.
So it sounds more like milking the North American market then.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, but then...
Sir, not everything has a price, you know.
Yeah.
There's some things, especially the beautiful game of football, that you cannot compromise. You cannot take too much away from it. She will become ugly.
And you think that is what is happening with...
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, we had day number one yesterday, the Mexican team getting the better of South Africa by 2-0. Korea Republic had a really good win last night as well in their game against Czechia by 2-1 in that encounter. And yeah, they are, let's say, tied loosely atop Group A with the Mexicans leading on goal difference. Yeah, we have a lot to get through on, well, not quite yet. Here we go with a look at what happened in that game between the Korea Republic and Czechia. Let's talk about this game. Andrew, you weren't here with us last night, but this was a very good come-from-behind victory from Korea Republic.
So in the lead up to the tournament, like, watching Korea play and reading some of the comments on Korea, the analysis on Korea, mainly by the Korean journalists, they were very displeased with their team. And when I watched the game last night, I was quite surprised by the quality they displayed. They broke through the lines of Czechia a lot of times when they went behind to unexpected set piece, because they scored the most set pieces in the European qualifying stage. I thought then, okay, this is where Korea will then crumble. But then for them to find the fortitude, mentally especially, and the heat and everything, and play through that, I was really surprised by them. And I think that game, that first game, was very crucial, because 3 points on the board now with South Africa to play. Well, they play Mexico next, but then South Africa. You think, okay, maybe this is a chance for them to qualify to the next
So
round.
you're one of those who believe that the South Africans are the weak links in this group and will likely leave with...
From the 2 games played yesterday, it showed they are the weakest team.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, like, I want to see Kubek's men, that's Czechia, the Czechia team, how they bounce back from that loss, because I think they were really good defensively. They played with everyone behind the ball, and yeah, they gave up 2 goals, but I want to see how they bounce back. As a coach, 2 coaches with me, like, what would you say to your team going into the next game? Like, guys, yeah, we lost 2-1, all is not lost.
It's important to shrug off whatever the loss is and to learn from the mistakes. Yeah, he who does not learn from his mistakes is destined to repeat it. So you need to look at what they did wrong and what they didn't do. What you did wrong and what you didn't do. What do you need to add to this now? You know, and look also at the weaknesses of the next opponent, you know, and exploit it.
Yeah, I think the weakness of the South Korean team was defending the set pieces and the long throw-ins. And I think even the South Koreans, when they got corner kicks and throw-ins, everything they tried to go low.
Yeah.
Because there was an advantage for the Czechia team in height. So I think both teams, they did their homework coming into the game, and it was a good game. It was a good game for me, an entertaining game.
Yeah, certainly an entertaining game last night. Korea Republic coming away with the 2-1 win, having to come from behind against Czechia. So that was Group A action. Coming up today in Groups B and D, starting, of course, in Group B. Canada, they are at home. They are trying to get their first ever win at the World Cup. Can you believe it? Yes, Canada, they've never won a World Cup game. Jamaica has a better record at the World Cup, but they could put that right this time around. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more as we continue to Dare to Dream. It's a wonderful World Cup album for 2026. There were concerns when the songs for the FIFA World Cup started coming out, but guess what? It is a really good final product, and what you were hearing as the backdrop just then, Echo featuring Shensia, another of Markovich Brown's favorite artists. And apparently Craig as well, and I'm very sure Andrew as well. So they'll be vibing to Echo throughout the course of the FIFA World Cup. A number of things to get through in this segment, but let's talk about support, because there's something interesting that happened yesterday and pretty much went viral on social media. A lot of it comedic, but I'm sure a lot of seriousness in it as well. And it's that a lot of African fans were supporting Mexico for the opening game. Now, if you understand the political situation at the moment, what has been happening is that there are South Africans who have been complaining about migrants from other countries in Africa. We're talking about the likes of Nigeria. Yes, it's happening elsewhere as well. And so the fans of Africa thought that, guess what? Let's get back at the South Africans, and we're going to be supporting Mexico. Gents, a very interesting situation yesterday. I mean, depending on which way you look at it, you could, find it funny. But there are other ways to look at this. Andrew, I'll start with you. What do you make of this one?
For me, immigration or migration has been a constant thing throughout the history of the world.
Yeah.
And this is just the beauty of international football now, where it's my nation against yours, or I'm supporting a nation that you are not against or you are against. So I see it as fun, because football is not just the sport itself. It encapsulates everything that happens in life. And you'll see more of that throughout the tournament as well.
Craig?
I think the politics needs to stop. I think that we need to recognize that this is one world, and people constantly pushing out other people for trying to get a better way of life, a better opportunities. If somebody can come and take your job, it's because you're not doing a good enough job. Yeah? I remember in the USA, the Mexicans go to California and they pick grapes because nobody else wants to do the job. And then they want them to throw them out after. Yeah. These are the things that you need to stop. You need to start, as a world, start thinking differently.
Yeah, I think some of the posts that I saw, they were saying, the other Africans were saying they don't want the South Africans to think that they're taking away their support. So that's why they were supporting Mexico. Yeah, and I think it's sarcastic. Of course, I think it's sarcastic, and that's not something I'd want to see. I don't know what they have and their differences.
These people are being hurt.
Yeah.
That's why they're saying that. You're hurting them. Yeah. It's like when you look at some countries, there's a Haiti and sometimes dumb rep issue, right? You need to understand these are human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hurting people.
Yeah.
If opportunity were like that was kept from us, many of the Jamaican-born players, English-born players from Jamaica, would never have reached there because their parents would have been kept out of the country. Yeah, but they went there for opportunity and to make better lives for their family.
Yeah, something interesting that we saw yesterday as well. Argentina, the reigning champions. And I say interesting, right? Because when I watched the show yesterday, nobody here picked Argentina to win, but guess what? They are back to #1 in the world at the start of the World Cup. So nobody picked the world #1 team. Gentlemen, what's wrong with you? Are you geniuses, or are you going to be the very opposite when this is all said and done?
No. I stated my reasons yesterday as to why. They have 18 players coming over from the 2022 World Cup, and it kind of been shown that when you retain as many players as that, then sometimes age, recovery, everything catch up with them. But also, as a big sports commentator, analyst, that sometimes the rankings going into the major event doesn't reflect the ranking of the tournament at the end. So
I'm a tennis man. I know that all too well.
Well, perfect. Perfect. So we're not ruling out Argentina doing well in the tournament, because one thing I love about Argentina is the fans. They bring the best fans that support the team at the World Cup.
But to be clear, you don't think they will win?
I don't think they will win the World Cup.
Okay. And Markovic, you don't think they will win either?
Well, as you know, I picked Spain and France, even though I'm in a Germany jersey. Some will say maybe I'm a Waganist. But as you said, they retain 18 players from the previous World Cup. That's something I think they could use as experience. Use it as the experience that they will need in this World Cup.
But Mark,
you know,
experience without passion, you know, experience without youth is nothing.
Interesting though,
have
Craig,
Lionel Messi.
that you say that, because you picked Belgium, right?
No.
Well, not to win, as a dark horse, did you not? You picked
As a
Belgium
dark
as a
horse,
dark horse.
absolutely.
Given, when you look at the Belgium team, a lot of elders in that setup as well. So what's the difference?
Because the experience can probably bring you through. But I certainly believe that Portugal will win this World Cup. And if Portugal doesn't win, France is going to win. Because the blend of experience, youth, and inspiration, is there with both of those teams.
many may not agree with this. That's what I'm going to say about for Portugal to win the World Cup. I think they have a really good team. One of your favorite player, who you took his thing with his jersey signed.
I brought his signed, sweated jersey
for them to win. I think for them to win, he need to take somewhat of a backseat role with his age.
Be more inspirational than
And he is talking
I don't
about
think he
Cristiano
can play
Ronaldo, by
every
the way.
single game in every single round, and Portugal will win the World Cup.
I agree with
That's
Marco.
just
I don't
me
think
and
you understand.
my perspective.
Greatness cannot be contained.
Can he play 70 minutes?
Craig, when you say Craig, hold on there though.
That's
Craig.
what I said.
When
You
you
need to
say
take a backseat.
hold on there. When you say greatness cannot be contained, let's get a clear understanding of what you are saying, because you can be great by taking a backseat. You can be great by being okay coming on for the last 10 minutes and impacting the game, as opposed to wanting to start every single game and disrupting the rhythm and the flow and the chemistry and camaraderie within the unit.
I'm just curious, if that were Messi you were speaking about, would you speak about him in the same light?
If Messi was in the... Let me allow my analysis.
Because Messi controls the Argentina.
Messi play a different role. Messi is
and that's the key thing here.
More of a creator.
Hold on. The question we need to ask is, has Cristiano Ronaldo not delivered every time, bro?
Yes, he have over the years.
Yeah.
Hasn't scored a knockout goal in the World Cup.
And?
You're talking about
Maybe now is the time.
Huh?
Maybe now is the time.
Yeah,
how are stories written?
In what context?
How are great,
in what context?
How are great stories written? Great stories are written overcoming...
By the conquerors, the victors.
Yeah, the victors. But they also, it's about overcoming adversity. His adversity is his age. Yeah? But when you look at what he brings to the table, he inspires his other players. And playing around him, this is the World Cup. Maybe he's holding it all for the last.
No, what we're saying is that greatness can be shown by, okay, I don't need to play in this game today. I can play 25 minutes in this game.
Yeah.
I'm curious, who won the MLS?
Hold on, Craig. Let me put some context to this, right? Let me put some context to this.
There's a reason I'm asking.
What role do you see Cristiano Ronaldo playing for Portugal at this World Cup? Because I think that will put this entire conversation into context.
I think he will top score the league.
Say that again, Craig. Where is Craig's camera? Can we get him to look into a camera and say that? So you are saying you think Cristiano Ronaldo will end this World Cup as the leading goal scorer, Golden Boot?
Yes.
At age?
And I also, so what? You know Zlatan?
Of course.
Okay.
But where football is now, you're a coach.
Al Nassr won the Saudi league. Yeah?
Is that a top 5 league?
I'm just curious.
Al Nassr?
Yeah. Is the MLS a top 5 league? Who won the MLS this year?
Al Nassr won the
I'm just
Saudi
asking.
league.
I'm just curious who won.
They won the Saudi League, but he also asked a question.
But
Is it a top five league? The quality of the Saudi League in comparison to the best leagues in Europe, can you at this stage genuinely compare them and say they are on the same level? So nobody is taking away that by the way, Cristiano Ronaldo is my favorite player. Nobody is taking away that he still has quality. What we are suggesting is that the role he has played in the Portuguese team in the past may not be the best role for the team this time around if they are to go all the way or go deep in this tournament.
So what role do you think he should be on the bench and come off the bench?
I think so. I think that should have happened from the last World Cup, and it's now 4 years later. You know where football is now.
Who are the European champions this year? Just curious.
You mean the last European champion? Spain are reigning champions? Where are we going with this, Craig?
Where I'm going is when a man leaves his legacy, his last, he's going to give, this is his last World Cup.
Yeah.
He's going to give it what, you can see the age on the man's face.
But Craig,
So
all we
because
are
this is
saying is
last
there
I
are different
guarantee you,
roles in which he can
he's
give
going to
his
leave it
all.
all out there.
Because it's his last. You're gonna deny your
If
team.
I were the coach, yeah, I'd believe in Cristiano Ronaldo. I'd bet on him.
90 minutes
I'd
every
bet
game.
on him again.
I tell you what, we all believe in Cristiano Ronaldo. Whether we believe in
I would
him,
play him until he's tired. When he's tired and say, "Well, come off," I'd say, "Okay, go."
Can he press though?
Huh?
Will he be pressing for 90 minutes?
The man is a machine. He's
Well-
fitter than all the players we have
And
right
machines have them.
they have their limits. Don't they? Machines have their limits. We are at our limit. We are out of time for this segment. Craig Butler says he would play Cristiano Ronaldo until he is tired at this World Cup. And he strongly believes Portugal will go all the way and win it. Mark Everidge is saying, not that I think they can't win it, but if they are to win it, yes, Cristiano Ronaldo has to play a different role. We'll be watching it closely, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it on Dare to Dream. Stay with us. We have lots more to come. Top of the hour, Canada versus Bosnia. That is what we're building up to FIFA World Cup action 2026. It is day number 2, match number 3. And yes, the starting lineups are very much ready. And big news, especially on the Canadian side. Not necessarily surprising news, because we pretty much expected it that Alphonso Davies would not be in the starting lineup, struggling with injury coming into the tournament, and was always going to be a doubt for this one. And so yes, that is the big news coming out of the Canada team. Edin Dzeko will lead the Bosnia team. They say he is the greatest to have ever played this game for Bosnia, and in his final appearance at the World Cup, what, 40 years old? Oh my goodness me. Yes, Craig Butler would love to hear this, because he says doesn't matter your age, once you want to do it, you can get it done, and he'll be cheering on Edin Dzeko in this one as well. Gentlemen, let's talk about this matchup, Bosnia versus Canada. Very important match for Canada. They're trying to get their first ever win in their 3rd World Cup. They've lost all 6 previous matches, but they come in on a 7-match unbeaten run. Some would say that should give them confidence. Others would say otherwise. Talk about this matchup.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Jesse March, their coach, he turned it around. I mean, you would have seen it in 2024 with their 4th place finish in the CONMEBOL Copa America, followed by a early exit. Disappointing in the Gold Cup to Guatemala on penalties. He just recently signed a 4-year deal to stick with the team going through to 2030. I think what he's done for this Canadian national team, he make them one of the out of the 3 hosts for this World Cup. I'm back in Canada to go further than Mexico and the US.
Yeah, well, that's a massive statement, Andrew.
Yeah, so that's fine with Markovic. One of the things with Canada is, where I think they have gotten right, is the previous coach at the last World Cup, John Herdman. He came in and there was a more high intensity but possession-based style. And now with Marsh, he brings his Red Bull methodology, following his schooling of Red Bull New York, Leipzig, Salzburg. And that's the way we expect them to play. High intensity, which kind of matches the profile of the players, the culture of the country. But their biggest issue, despite having all the stars they have, is scoring goals. They seem to can't put the ball in the back of the net, and I think that may be one of the weaknesses that they face. So getting an early goal in this game will be very crucial for them. They haven't won a World Cup game, as you mentioned, in 6 appearances. And one of the things you figure as a host country, you'd want to top your group to stay in the country to play your home games there. And I think this is a massive opportunity. Bosnia, they don't concede a lot of goals. Italy can tell you about it, and Wales. So this may be a cage game where not a lot of goals in it.
Yeah.
I envision.
Yeah, the reference there from Andrew, of course, Bosnia to qualify for the World Cup. They beat Wales and then Italy, the 4-time champions in playoff matches, to get here, and they were very difficult to break down and score against. Let's talk about Davies now, because he is not in the starting lineup for Canada. You spoke about the fact that they have struggled to score goals in the build-up to the tournament, and he is the man who scored for them at the last World Cup in a 4-1 defeat. So without him in the setup, how big a loss is this for the Canadian team?
It's huge loss. He's one of he is the main man in the team. Has been for a while. Youngest player to ever score in the Gold Cup, and he's going to be missed. Hopefully they'll get him back in time for him to play. But what I've liked about Canada is their progression. They've really put a lot of work into it. I remember back in the 1998 World Cup campaign, Canada was pretty much on the same level as Jamaica. And now they've evolved through consistent, sustained development, and that's
that with goal and assist. So I think he would be the main man for this game and the one to look out for.
Yeah, I want to look at a matchup analysis of Jonathan David and Edin Dzeko, because they will be critical up front for both teams today. I don't know how many opportunities they are going to get, but that is why it's going to be important for them to be clinical. Andrew, talk us through the importance of these two players to both teams.
Yeah, very important. How I see the game, which may work out in the favor of like David, is Canada is a very transitional-based team. And if they can allow Bosnia to come forward a little bit more, then they may find more opportunities where David can run into space and play. But if you find it's a case where Bosnia is sitting very deep and playing, and then play to Dzeko to hold up, and then the young players from Bosnia and Herzegovina running off Dzeko, then you might find Canada struggling to create anything significant. So I think the flow or the state of the game may determine which one of these two strikers get the more opportunities to score. Dzeko from the set pieces, or if Bosnia can progress the ball up the field. But I definitely see Davis having most of his Jonathan David having most of his opportunities if Canada can invite Bosnia forward and then have the transitional opportunity.
The problem with Dzeko is that he's a goal scorer, you know, and if they allow them to play to him, Canada is in trouble.
He's a goal scorer, but also a very good link-up player.
Well, link-up player, you have Tabovic as his strike partner.
From Stuttgart.
Yes, 13 goals in, I think, Gladbach. 13 goals in Bundesliga, so they would play off each other, I guess.
In like a 4-4-2, you see more holding, then his strike partner going off him.
Yeah, there is Jonathan David getting ready for this contest for the Canadians. Knows he has a really massive jump today. Let's talk about what we expect tactically, especially from a Canadian standpoint. This is a big game. I mean, when you are co-hosting or hosting, sometimes you want that first match to be the sort of contest where you go, yes, for the most part, we should win this one. So even if you have some nerves, you expect to get through. But this is genuinely a tough match, at least in my estimation, for Canada. What should be the approach by the Canadians coming into a game like this? And I know we have two coaches here, so I would love to hear these philosophies, probably slightly different, and a top defender. Craig, I'll start with you.
I think that Canada should actually contain and counter. Contain and counter, because the quality that is in the other team really is high. And with a machine like Dzeko and the players around him, they have to contain. Canadians are very strong, very resilient, very disciplined. Yeah. And with that discipline has to count for them today.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear you say that, because that's not generally how you coach. You're a front foot type of coach. It's very interesting to hear you speak about containing.
You never hear someone part the bus with stats and mash them up. You never hear about a part there. You never know I'm a defender first.
Andrew, are you in agreement?
All right, so how I look at it is in moments or opportunities where Canada, like how we saw Mexico push high up the field against South Africa yesterday, especially on restarts from South Africa's first third. I see Canada doing just like that. But should Bosnia progress the ball, then I see Canada dropping to say, I want that space behind. So it's the transitions. It's going to be the transitions. And this is one of the areas now where geography suits Canada. They are playing where the temperatures are not so much of a factor.
Yes.
So they're going to play in Toronto, they're going to play in Vancouver. This gives an opportunity for Marsh to pretty much bring about his Red Bull football, where it's high intensity, end-to-end, very direct football, because you don't see that the effects that heat will have on players over a sustained period reaching Canada. So that would be the approach to high pressure in moments where Bosnia tried to build up, not giving them any rhythm in the game. But should they progress the ball, I'm going to drop to a mid or low block, then I want that ball to quickly, as possible, be direct.
I can almost guarantee you that you're going to see a very tactical game from Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, very tactical, very disciplined, very structured, and counter. They're not going to go and press you. They're going to contain. And it's in the nature.
I'm listening to you guys and I'm thinking to myself, this doesn't sound as if it's going to be the most exciting game.
I disagree with Coach Butler.
These games can be exciting. You know?
I think Canada will try to press Bosnia high up the field and try to win the ball there because it's their first game. They have the 12 man. They're all raging. So I think they would use the 12 man, try to press Bosnia high up the field, force them to make mistake, and try to more than likely get goals from that. And I think they will have more of the majority.
Is that the right approach you think?
Yes, I think so.
And they don't have their talisman.
But Davis in this system plays as a left back, not like the last World Cup where Davis was a left winger or even as one of two strikers. So the dependency on Alphonso Davies here is not as much as it was in 2022 where we needed to score the goals, we needed to create the attack. Here in this 4-2-2-2, Marsh system, he was the left back who got forward a lot of the times. So it's more about supporting the attack and creating from left back rather than finishing the attacks. And I think here, if you have watched Marsh progression as a coach, for him, creating the goals is also from pressing, from being out of position, forcing turnovers, rather than relying on that, oh, let me find that creative player to unlock. That's not his style.
Yeah, so much was expected of the Canadians 4 years ago when the tournament was held in Qatar, but they left without a win that time around. This time, they are hoping that will not be the case. We're getting ready for kickoff. It's Canada versus Bosnia. We take another break. We'll be back with more on Dare to Dream. Yeah, Canada is a multicultural society, so, you know, as much as they are at home, I suspect there will be quite a few fans inside the stands who are not exactly sure who to cheer for, whether it's Bosnia or Canada. And so many fans across Canada will have that problem throughout the course of this World Cup. Having said all of that, yes, I'm pretty sure it's going to be more red than anything else in Toronto today as they get ready for that contest. I don't know if my panelists have ever had that issue of being uncertain what country to cheer for or what team to cheer for while a football game is going on. I don't know why they went to the single shot of Craig just then when I said that.
No, man, I cheer for one team. Jamaica.
I thought you were going to say Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal for a second. But yes.
George Mendes, obrigado, my friend. We'll stick together, brother. No worries.
We spoke about the 12th man. And I'll start with you, Andrew. And from a coach's perspective, and of course, levels are different. But at the end of the day, when you have a charged atmosphere like the one we expect in Toronto today, an expectant crowd, is that likely to impact in any way how the Canadians go about their business?
Yeah, at the start of the game, it's going to be really impactful. And the longer the game goes on without you gaining an advantage with that 12th man behind you, then you may sort of feel the tide turn a bit. So like yesterday's game with Mexico, they were up 1-0. South Africa went down to 10 at one point. But you start to feel like you're hearing some boos in the stadium or whistles in the stadium because now we have this advantage, but we're not feeling it. We're not seeing it on the screen. It's not manifesting on the scoreboard. So what can happen today is the 12th man push Canada on. First 25 minutes, up to the first hydration break, do they gain an advantage? Are they playing? That advantage don't have to be on the scoreboard. Are they playing well? Yeah. Where the crowd feels like, okay, yes, we're in this, and we feel like at some point we're going to get the goal. But
so you're saying it's important for the team itself to get the crowd involved.
Yeah.
And that comes from the quality of the performance, the intensity of the performance.
And also suppressing the opponent. Because if Bosnia is in the game and looking like they can gain an advantage or they can score, then that 12th man may say, I should start to whistle rather than cheer.
The big problem that you have is who you're playing against.
Yeah.
It's Bosnia.
Yeah.
They've known hardship. They've known war. They've known to be in very uncomfortable situations. Yeah. And when them man come to war, a football game is nothing to them.
Yeah.
You understand?
Well, once you see the players appear in the tunnel, you know it's time for us to go to our live feed. But quickly, gents, we've spoken so much about this contest. It's time to give those predictions. Craig, I'll start with you. Who wins this one?
Dante, for you, Canada 1-0. For you, Dante.
I think Bosnia back will be against the wall in this war. So I'm going Canada to dominate the game, 2-0.
You hear Markovic dominate the game. And Andrew?
1-1.
1-1. Andrew says a draw. All right. There you have it from our analysts. It's time to go across to Toronto. You don't get to ask me that, Craig. It's time to go across to Toronto. Match number 3 of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, Canada versus Bosnia.
Didn't expect them to get here, but now that they are here, they will be expected to catch the eye. Canada, meanwhile, are serious contenders in the football world these days. Their players are really making their presence felt across the game. Now is their chance to make their mark at a home World Cup. The stuff of dreams. This place looks terrific, and you can feel the vibes from the stands. You can feel the excitement. You can perhaps fear those nerves creeping in. We've already seen a couple of nations get off to terrific starts, and how these two would love to follow the example. The stage is well and truly set. All we need now is those who can really make the magic happen. Those charged with the responsibility for these two nations to really get them off to the best of starts. It's time to take the walk, time to take centre stage, time to tackle the world. Out they stride into a tournament filled with opportunity. Both these sides have so much to give and so much to gain over the next few weeks. Out into a stadium bathed in colour, sound and genuine belief from both sets of supporters. There is a feeling in these parts that Canada have never possessed a better side, while Bosnia and Herzegovina will be buoyed by their growth, development and belief that has been evident over the last few years. The two sides take their positions in a new look pre-match ritual for this competition. We have two effervescent coaches, two nations ready to get stuck in, and a crowd ready to play their part too. And before the action, the anthems.